peaceful people struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
Yo, nobody not selling out. We talking facts, facts we dealing with. Nobody not selling out. We talking facts. I been to Guyana, man. I have to go back. The way how the country looking, man, they left me shocked. Who's ever in charge? Them put we on the map. The men them look healthy, the girls them look hot. I went to a meeting. I don't know where's chicken curry. Them Guyanese eating, man. The government walking. 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 This one's for them haters. For them haters who attacking Guyana. Show them your little finger. Little finger, show them your little finger. Little finger, show them the 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 little finger. The government walking. 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 Don't mix me with politics. I hear the Guyanese critics. I just want the country fixed. Man, I come here some kicks. Can later bumper fake. We call it a camera trick. And if you rest it to me, I still give it some licks. The government walking. 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 The government. This is for the hater. For the hater. This is for the hater. We're running down Guyana. For the hater. For the The government pocket. Now don't mix me, don't mix me, don't mix me. The government pocket. I don't do politics. Just get jacket, right? Get jacket. Walking. They're walking. Them walking. They're walking. Now I said them walking. A little mix me. I don't do politics.
Oh yes. A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you, it's your boy Padmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message. I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. really think, family. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future. This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I...
Neighbor Joe, Neighbor Joe, Neighbor Joe. Oh, morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. No, because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. Neighbor, neighbor, Joe come. This is all the money that me work for. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. A 2 pound a note and a gilla piece. This is all the money that me work for. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Oh, Joseph, pour me. Oh, Joseph, pour me. How Joseph pour me, what we could do with a killer piece. One bunch queen plantain, one string quacquari, one Jill black pepper. All you could do with a killer piece. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. When you been a corrupong and I've been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you come with conniving morning. When you had your pocket full, you now been tell me morning. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. I don't want your conniving morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You can keep your conniving morning.
Good morning to everybody, and welcome down to another episode of Livewire. It's officially the 8th of August, and yes, Building Expo, the International Building Expo, starts today. We'll have the opening ceremony happening a little later in the evening. Also, let me make sure before I say the wrong thing. There's also supposed to be the press conference by the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic, Dr. Barrett Jagdeo, which will be happening today at 2 o'clock as well. So things for you guys to look out for. I know yesterday we were supposed to be I promised I would be looking at the Attorney General's presentation on his programs issues in the news, at least the last one. However, we got some other things to deal with. As you saw on the flyer, we're going to be having Lennox Gasper here this morning to talk about some of the happenings at the Linden Town Council, and to give us a real perspective on what the mayor and councillors of the PNC try to push and normalize in that setting. Now, anybody who has been to Parliament, even if you've been to the statutory meetings in Georgetown, there are rules and regulations that you have to follow. And it seems like this mayor is using his ability to rally PNC supporters to do nonsense, to try to intimidate the town clerk. But we'll get into all of that in time. Morning to all the persons joining us on the live. Before I continue, I want to remind you guys that if you're coming to Guyana, if you're living in Guyana, you want to do any construction, architectural work, or anything along that line, make sure you check out Modern Architectures. They're the ones for you. That's not a slogan, but just keep saying that after it. It sounds good. But yeah, check them out. They got you covered, and you can build that dream home. Even if you're local and you're trying to build a low-income, moderate, young professional, wherever it is you decide you want to build, check them out. They got you covered. Also, don't forget, in Region 6 there, if you're passing through looking for something great to eat at lunchtime, call the number on the screen, 654-8187, and you'll get on to Grill Masters. Wonderful, wonderful food. Have your taste buds dancing, right? So make sure you support local, these two local businesses out there, right? What I wanted to get to. Oh, morning to all the persons in the comment section already. Neil Ramlukan, Vishnu Narain, Joseph Satar, Ram Narain Singh, Rahim Amarali, Eddie Ramnath, Veena Ramkaran, Joe Nabijan, Camille, and Inderpal Narain joining us from Minnesota. Richard Aklu, Feroz Wahid joining us as well. Eunice Raghubir, good morning to you and Rita Chow. Rita, sorry for giving you wrong last name. I got it now. Morning to Eunice Raghubir and Rita Chow. Tulsi Ram Chetty, morning to you. Sarah Mosley, Shakila Bridgelal, Paula Spencer. Paula, I ain't bring nothing. Sorry. I see a message. Betty, Amanda, Alexander, Vishnu Narain, morning to you. Omar Sharif, Desiree, good morning to you. Lola Hari, Violet Prasad, Maureen Razio, Farina Wong, morning to you. Bibi Kalicharan, Cecile Rampasad, Pam, morning to you. And Trevor, Roman Haridlal, morning to you. Little Rihanna Juman, morning to you. You're on holiday, so I know you're home there, helping out mommy and being a good girl as normal, right? Morning to the Ashbys as well. Rafiq, Rafi Singh, Ravi Jai Chan, Alan Khan, Prem Prashad, Rakesh, morning to you. Sherwin Siram, morning to you. Jamila Kayum, Leslie Mongol, Philip Graves Andy joining us from Florida. Danita Rupnarain, Suma Bipat, Rahama, morning to you. It's Deshaun Abrams morning. Faisal Ghani, Cindy Sarupchan, morning to you. Carla Daniels joining us from Rockabye Region 5. Jasoda Budram, Dale Henry. Robert Hilleman, morning to you. Who else we got here? Rajendra Singh, Balwan Dan Raj. Rowena Lal. Ronald Jones, pick up yourself. The package on its way. Rita Little, morning to you and Mr. Little. Asif Ahmad, good morning. Roger Fong. Leroy Mangal, morning to you. Nirmala Allen joining us from Barbados. Richard Stanislaus, morning to you, brother. Who we got here? Prem Dionarain, morning to you. Karen Carter, you best don't be telling me no thank you or no comment or no live. You have my number and didn't even call me. Hey, I tell you, boy, these people, Jesus Christ. Karen, you out of order. You, good morning, all cordial, and thank you. Your eyes pass me. You better call me or text me. Terrible. Tracy Martindale, morning to you. The guy in the pink suit, who I didn't know who he talking about. Rukmini, morning. Sally Jones and Hill, morning to you. Miss Bob, Tamika Bihari, Indira, morning to you. Rajendra Datadin, Cesarine Samaru, Magdalene Henry, morning to you. Tulsiram Chedi, I said you already. Edward Budu, Sean Duggan, big up yourself, Lena, people in the house. Iman Fasad, morning. Taras O'Brien, Jean Cornelius, Latoya Gomes, Vera, morning. Gillian, morning. Morning, everybody. Morning. Now, listen, I'm going to play some video for you about, well, in relation to happenings at the town council statutory, which happened sometime yesterday, right? And we're also going to be having Mr. Lennox Gasper here to talk to us about what transpired and what would have caused the kind of thinking, I would say, in relation to the operations at the Linden Town Council. Now, let me play the video so y'all can understand clearly what I'm talking about. Now, this here is in the Linden Town Council statutory. It's happening right now, and the current sitting mayor, the useless, impactless, visionless, legacyless Sharma Solomon was basically doing a monologue. Apparently, he got a 1-hour show where he doing a monologue on things that he's claiming not to understand. But in this day and age, when you have evidence, you have paper trail, you got phones, videos, somebody always watching and somebody always listening, right? Now, I will tell you this here. Georgetown, these are two places that I've been and I frequent. The Parliament of Guyana and the City Hall statutory. Although it's not being held currently at the main building or room designated for that, there is one being conducted at the Starbrook Market conference room, which is converted into the room for the statutory meeting. It has the horseshoe table in there. And let me say this to you. Both locations have a gallery. Now, the gallery is for members of the public to come and sit and listen. You were saying, come, sit and listen. At no time a member of the public in the parliamentary gallery and in the city hall's gallery that I've been to are allowed to sanction in any kind of deliberation that is happening at the statutory meeting at city hall level or a parliamentary sitting. I think if somebody wants to do that, it has to go through a process. It doesn't happen like that. That's the first thing I want to make clear to people. Secondly, right, there is a limit in terms of the amount of persons that the gallery can accommodate. So if you are not inclined to be on time or to be early to secure a seat in the gallery, and you don't get in the gallery, that is it for you. You can't bully your way and push open gate and have councillors and a mayor who understands these protocols encourage people to violate them. Now, even as a journalist, you go to parliament. Let's say you go to parliament and you reach late. And all the all the seats are gone that were designated for journalists. You go outside downstairs on the bottom floor where they got a big TV for you to watch, and you do your reporting from there. So this nonsense that I'm about to play for you that Sharma Solomon is encouraging, it just goes to show you the level they will descend to bring disorder to reputable agencies and to not have them function within their role and within the capacity that they're supposed to function in.
The public gallery. Everyone is welcome to come and sit and watch these meetings. Most disturbing just now is the persons who are locked out of this compound.
Now, mind you, yes, everyone is invited to these public galleries. Everyone is invited. However, if you arrive and it is full, how are you going in? You can't. Listen, people, Parliament, and I'm talking about places that I've been to that have these very same standing orders. You can't go into the Parliament and just stand around in there. And he'll talk about photographers and police as well, Sharma Solomon. And that's how stupid this guy is, to equate the camera persons who have to operate a device, the police who are on duty and most times standing out of view of the, but you got to say on the peripheral of these, what's the right word? On the peripheral area of the dome or at City Hall downstairs or on the out sitting, mind you, even at City Hall, sitting in a corner designated for them. Nobody stands around in these things. There's nobody sitting on the floor. Only people like Sherrod Duncan. And he, as a member of parliament, is given certain leeways to behave in such a reckless manner in the National Assembly. But for a member of the public to come to a statutory meeting of the council or the city council or the town council, was yet the Parliament of Guyana, and decide that they're sitting on the floor or they're going to stand in the gallery because the gallery ain't got space, it's unheard of. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So this nonsense that Sharma Solomon was trying to push on the town clerk, and because he got pulled up by the town clerk, he's upset, is utter foolishness.
When the meeting starts, we'll find out who, why, how that instruction was given. It must be answered because they work for you. And you must know why they locked you out of the compound just now. Why?
No, he's claiming he wants to know why. Anyway, let me play the video.
Admitting others. You must know that. And in this chamber, it must be answered. Because it was a justification and a rationale behind such a decision that you must.
No, that's the ignorance. Now, Sharma Solomon well knows of this. Once the seats in the gallery are filled, even in court, you are not allowed to come into a courtroom and just stand up in the back because they got no seat. The police tell you go outside and wait. But normal fashion, these PNC operatives, they don't want to conform to rules, order, and procedure. They want to do anything haphazardly. And I'm waiting for the town clerk to get here because I was reliably informed that most of the person that forced through the gate were protesters outside and basically wanted to bring their protest into the statutory meeting. But he's not going to say that. He's going to sit because, and mind you, this video that we have here is from Sharma Solomon page. This is Sharma Solomon video, right? He basically wants the protesters to come into the meeting and do as they like. It can't happen, Sharma Solomon.
Must be explained why. Who's more privileged than others to be part of these meetings and to be discarded in and some discarded out? People must know that. It just happened. You mustn't pretend.
This guy is so stupid and annoying. Sharma Solomon, who has no legacy of doing anything proper in Linden. A political stooge, basically. What is want to call me? But you know something? They got people who could tell you, well, hey, this guy helped me here, he helped me there. You can't have that with Sharma Solomon. Sharma Solomon, greatest legacy in Linden is cutting down them pine trees along what took a drive or wherever it was. Not him physically cutting it down, but instructing that they be cut down. No, because the town clerk wants you to be accountable and don't want to jump and sign everything that you push in front of him, because at the end of the day, he is answerable. You are voted in there. Next cycle, you don't know if you're going to be mayor. Now, could you imagine Sharma Solomon pretending that he don't know that these people were being rowdy and crazy on the road? They're not interested in doing the people's business, and I'll show y'all why. Y'all take a listen to this. Take a listen to this. Now, this year, we come back to Sharma, and I saw Bishop Landon, the false prophet, in the meeting talking a bunch of stupidness. I thought it was a threat to gospel. I don't know how gospel taking these things. I don't know how gospel taking these things. That sounded like a threat to me. But this is some audio that was recorded on the outside. You understand? To show you that this here is something that is politically motivated. It's not about persons' interest. And mind you, they were talking about blocking persons from meeting and discussing with the council. The statutory meeting is not for that. The statutory meeting is not for the general public to come and raise concerns with the council. What the council is doing in the communities? What are the councillors doing in the communities that the people got come to the statutory to speak to them face to face? Is Sharma Solomon not the mayor of Ladies? Is he not in Linden that y'all not seeing him? Do they need to come to the council meeting to talk to him? Listen to this audio. Oh no. Why didn't that upload? All right, guys, just give me a second. Where is this? where I put down this phone. Shoot. Sorry about that. Anyway, just let me let you hear what happened in the council yesterday whilst I find this audio for you guys. Have a listen.
Pretend as though it didn't happen. Because if the chair, the mayor, and the councillors didn't come, the people of Linden from their own chamber and their own building would have been locked out just now. That's the sort of tyranny of people who don't even understand their roles that are perpetrated.
I can't just let it go and just let this guy say this nonsense. Nobody from Linden was locked out. The gallery had a specific amount of seats. The seats were filled, and the security at the Linden Town Council telling the people, the others that came late, there's no place for you to go in there and sit, so you can't go in. And this is what Sharma Solomon is sitting in the seat of the mayor to mislead people, as if persons were blocked from going in there.
Against you, the people of Linden. That's what we have to deal with in this town. So outside of a meeting being recessed for over an hour and a half, delaying your work, your serious work, every minute wasted is your life impact.
Mr. Mayor asked to be recognized, sir.
Yes, but you'll be recognized. I'm not ready to recognize you. The meeting is not started.
Sir, the meeting started from the time you convened. You reconvened the meeting.
Clerk, we've asked for recess.
You reconvened the meeting, sir. From the time all councillors are seated and you yourself are seated, the meeting has been reconvened.
I am giving you based on the standing order.
Mr. Mayor, what standing order? Where?
The standing orders are decided right here.
What standing order, Mr. Mayor? I am asking to be recognized.
You will be recognized. You don't tell me when you are recognized.
And I bring to your attention
I am telling you now,
a serious matter within this council's chamber.
You have to sit down and give me the opportunity to recognize you. Sit down. Sir. Sit down.
Sir.
Sit down. You'll be recognized. Sit down. Sit down. You'll be recognized. Member in the gallery.
So you're hearing members of the gallery telling the town clerk to sit down. First of all, Lennox Gaspar is a good spirit, because I mean, I don't know how I would have been reacting to some of this. And sometimes my superiors just tell me I got a problem with my attitude and how I, operate. And probably politics may not be the thing, because he's got to know how to take these things and not react. I don't know how I would have reacted to Sharma Solomon talking to me like that. You understand? Anyway, I see the town clerk is here. I'm going to bring him on screen, but I wanted to continue just to show you some of and the extent that it went to yesterday.
And we just spoke. Any member of the gallery should be with the clerk of the meeting. Sit down. This is how you are. Sit down. Mr. Mayor, decide this meeting. You don't decide this meeting. Sit down. Sit down. What's wrong with you? This is not your meeting. Sit down. Get the permission to speak. That's how it works. You don't bully this meeting. What's wrong with you? You're recognized to have a seat and speak, you will. You don't determine that. You don't determine that. And I see police on the premises. We have our constabulary. I'll ask the police who invited them and for what too.
Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Town clerk, sorry, yeah, town clerk started talking to me. Anyway, town clerk, welcome to the program. Thank you for taking some time to talk with us today. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, Courdel, and good morning to all the listening viewers. And it's always a pleasure to share and interact with you. I give thanks to God for life and for his keeping power. I am well. And I give thanks for that.
I'm glad to hear. Now, I want to jump right into it. Yesterday, you had I would call them showdowns, because it seems like the mayor is at a point where he doesn't want to listen to you. He feels he can speak to you in any manner. And he keeps, in my view, based on the little I know about 2801, changing things to suit himself. Now, first of all, just a brief synopsis, because we're going to go into some more detail. What transpired yesterday at the statutory meeting?
All right. So what transpired yesterday was that we would have organized for the statutory, and persons should understand that statutory means by law. And so at the swearing in of the mayor, there was the established date and time or day within the month for the meeting, and they would have scheduled that for the first Wednesday of every month. And so by law, I am required to make all arrangements and put everything in place for that day.
Right.
However, preceding that day, there was a bit of contention as it relates to the abrupt removal of some garbage from in front of the market area, which would have drawn some attention to it. However, the situation was addressed. I would have made every attempt to reach with the mayor and councillors so that we can come up with an emergency plan or strategy to fix the system that was abruptly changed. And they did not comply. I don't know, maybe the mayor feel that I should not be the lead on calling for emergency meeting. Nonetheless, I did ask the clerk of market to organize a meeting with myself and a few of the market residents, and we came to an agreement. It was resolved, it was addressed that we would have the tractor be there on time. The mayor subsequently, the following Monday, met with residents, and then the entire thing turned, where he was more or less whooping persons up to come and to protest the clerk. And that was mentioned in that live. Also, there was a call for a no confidence motion to be drawn, of course, on grounds that are all, they're misinformation for each and every one of them. There is a reason for whatever position that was taken, and there are some that are illegal that the mayor wants me to act upon or comply with. Nonetheless, upon hearing about the protest, I would have gone into gear. Remember, I have staff that I have to protect, and I cannot allow the place to be for a free-for-all.
Just a second, Gaspar. Just a second.
Go ahead.
So, based on information coming to you or intelligence gathered or whatever,
yes,
it was made. You were made aware that there was a protest scheduled for yesterday.
For that, yes. Okay, and so, instructions were given, things were put in place to protect staff who were working there, and also councillors and admin officers while we execute the business of the council in chambers. The chamber, the building is at 22 by 34, which is a total of 758 square foot. If you, according to building codes and regulations, if you have, based on the style and setting of your conference room, if you have a theater style, meaning like we got a half circle or the half C, and the central part, if you have it like that, then for that measurement or dimension of the building, you will need to only seat 70 persons. If it is studio style, where not studio classroom style, where you have it square and then you have the head table, it will seat roughly like 50 persons. What we had was a boardroom style, where we have that centerpiece where the table is and council sit around. So it meant that the seating capacity reduced. It's 38 persons, including the 16 councillors, the 15 administrative officers and supporting staff, meaning secretary, the mayor secretary, my secretary, the registry people, and 10 members of the gallery. 10. This is the reason why we go live, so that everyone can be a part who cannot fit in the gallery. Now, of course, the call for the protest sprout others to come and to want to hear and to know what is going to happen. So there were some persons who were citizens of Linden that reached early and they took up the seats. And of course, the constabulary being advised, they know now at this point you close the gates and you're only letting persons in who come to transact business within the council. So the mayor called the meeting to order, but he realized that his protesters aren't outside. So he immediately called attention to the minutes of the meeting that he did not get the minutes. He's now seeing it. It did not go to him before, which was misinformation. It's a fabrication of the truth. And I did send you the screenshot of the email that was sent to the mayor's secretary on the 31st of July. This was sent to the mayor's secretary, and the mayor's secretary would have forwarded that to him before it come back to me. And mind you, 3 days before the meeting, this would have reached me to finally go through and give the instruction to go ahead and print. So the mayor did see the minutes. Now, what the mayor is saying to the people of Linden, he can't read himself and councillors that they need an hour and a half, but it was really for the protesters to come and then for them to have this showdown, this show of power. And so that is what happened. Then when they did reconvene, the mayor decided, well, the protesters reached, they had a confrontation. A couple of them came in under the disguise that they come to do business, right? And they were let in. So they technically start orbiting within the hallway of the council. And then I heard a commotion because after I realized that it was close to the time, I went back into the conference room and I had my seat. Then I heard a commotion and I realized, and well, I understand later that the mayor and councillors would have gone to the gate, overpowered the constabulary, challenged them and demand that the gate be open and let the people in. So while I'm seated in like 10 minutes to the time, waiting for the meeting to reconvene, all these people poured into the conference room. Now, it is in the interest of the people too that I have to take action, because if the roof, and mind you, Courdel, we had put out tender only for the roof to be repaired. If that roof would collapse, I could, not me, but the council could be sued, and I would have to go and give answer at the level of the court for each and every person that went into that room there. But so all these people start coming in, and I raised my head, so I immediately put my mic on. The meeting wasn't reconvened, and I did welcome everybody, thank them for coming. And I cautioned them on the rules of the house. I brought to their attention that we only have a seating capacity. What is the seating capacity? And only those persons would be allowed, those persons who can be able to find seat to be seated. And for the others, they can go on the outskirts and listen via the live. The people decided to sit down on the floor. Now, it's not a town hall meeting, it's a statutory meeting. A town hall meeting, yes, we can forego those rules and maybe give some consideration, but it's a statutory meeting. You have to be provided seats. Person starts sitting on the floor, person starting. Nonetheless, I gave them the rules of the house. I asked to put their phone on silent. I did inform them that you cannot speak in the gallery. Only elected councillors can speak, and officers who give them permission. I did went through the protocol, and I did raise the encumbrance and the danger in terms of their health, safety, and security. All of that was ignored. The mayor walked in subsequently, and he called the meeting to order. When he called the meeting to order, he said he'd still have 10 minutes more before the actual time that he said he would have recessed for. But the bottom line is, once you come and you sit in and you call to order, even if you would have said you wanted to start 12 and you come 10 to 12, then you have to start the meeting. The minute you start the meeting, so he started to talk. I said, Mr. Mayor, may I be recognized? Because now I have to restate what I would have said for the record. Because what I would have said earlier was not in record. It was prior to the meeting being reconvened. So that cannot go into the minutes. So now I have to restate for the record, and that is what I did, or attempted to do. And the mayor said, you will be recognized, the meeting didn't start yet. So I said, Mr. Mayor, from the time you sat down and you call this meeting to order, the meeting start. It's not a case where you, no, meeting thing or whatever, and we went. It became a back and forth. And nonetheless, I realized the danger. He kept talking for like about 10 minutes or so. And I interrupted again, interjected to state the situation and bring to his attention what is going on, the encumbrance, and what is happening. By this time, from the entrance of him to the room, there was this big applaud and this noise of cheering him on. So like I said, the protests come from off the road into the conference room, and that should not be allowed. Yeah. So I brought that to his attention, and the people, when he talks, and you know, he's passionate when he speaks, and it can sound convincing, they're clapping and this whole parade and cheering on. And I recognize more cheers coming in, more persons coming in, and they start blocking the entrance. So I brought it to his attention. He put all of that down. He asked me if it's in the 2801, but they're building codes and regulations outside of 2801. There are other laws, right, from other agencies that I have to ensure that the council complies with as the clerk of the council. And so I was basically trying to bring these things to the mayor's attention. He did not accept. He said, I'm making up these rules. There's no way. These are his rules, his position, his decision. But I want people to understand this is not about me. My actions is not about me. It was about those very people that sat in there, and to ensure their safety and the safety of my staff. The other thing, Courdel, before I pause here, if there is outside of the possibility of a roof caving in or any form of emergency, we have two doors. We have two doors, that the entrance and exit, right? But one is out of order. It's actually rotten and falling apart. I did sign for them to do it over. That's a whole other story for another day. But it has a big sign on it, out of order. The very door that they're coming in, that was blocked. If these protesters had gotten out of order, because I know I've functioned with Mr. Solomon before, he called for protests that he had no control of. He lost control. He's good at organizing and pulling these things, but he does not have the element of control for it. And so if they went rogue, I would have had to, and my staff would have had to pass those very people to get out. How can I have a meeting like that continue, Courdel? And I want viewers to listen to these things. I did not take that position to recuse myself just because I want to avoid facing whatever was the questions that were to come, or because, according to the mayor, I am ashamed. Ashamed of what? Ashamed of whom? You know? So I said, Mr. Mayor, if you're not going to recognize me, if you're not going to acknowledge these breaches, I will be forced to recuse myself. I cannot leave my staff officers in danger, and also we have staff working in other departments that are being distracted from doing their work, and I could not have allowed it. So he knowing being himself, started a call for it. Let this man go. Let this man. That's what he does. And then he started to spew information now to be taken in a different direction. That okay, this is the reality. This is his reality. That this man will stop your progress and from the deliberation of your business. So you're going to go to another month. But here what will happen? He will have an extraordinary meeting. And I will inform you. And I will let you know and come back again. So you see, what people need to see what is happening. Sharma is the person who is creating this problem. Because again, even if we have the extraordinary meeting, Courdel is only 10 members of the gallery I can accommodate. And if 32 comes in, I will have to resort to the same position. We cannot continue the meeting, because even the AC, it becomes an environmental health problem with all those people in there. Because the AC is not going to push enough for cooling and for the accommodation, the body heat of each person.
No, Gaspar, we got a question in the comments. Somebody is asking, Isn't the mayor his boss? Isn't the mayor your boss? Could you clarify this here for the public who might not understand how the role of the town clerk and the role of the mayor?
Okay, so the structure of the administration is one whereby the council, including the mayor, forms what would be perceived as a board of trustees or directors. They're at the helm, right? They're not necessarily my boss because in the structure of the local government system, I am answerable to the local government minister and the local government commission. I am an officer of the local government commission, and so they are my direct boss, if you will put it that way, if it must. But there is a system and a structure. But this board of trustees, in an attempt to have this transparency and participatory democracy, where the people in which you are giving service to is a part, their elected official now will come as a board. So it's not just the mayor, it's that body of people when they're gathered and they sit. Not Sharma Solomon alone. While he is elected as the chair, he mediates between the officer, which is the town clerk or other officers, and the councillor or the people, right? So between the administration and the people, he is the voice that mediates. And that is where we give that coaching or mediation, like how you're doing this interview. And if you were to interview two persons, you mediate, you fire the questions, you maintain the order, you do these things. And so the mayor is not my boss. And this thing with who is a creature of the council, it's a term that came out from APNU because they want to subdue or bring people into this master slave kind of mentality. So you're a creature of the council. We create you, so you must answer to us. No, it's not like that. They make policies, they make decisions, and I'm expected to carry it out, but it must be in keeping with law. If it is not in keeping with law, then I am required to advise them. They don't have to take the advice. They can choose not to take the advice, and I will let the record show. That means now, in the absence of them taking the advice, it will be that matter will be forwarded to the minister. And the minister now will consider what they are saying, what the clerk's objection was on the principle of law, because the clerk can't object on what he think or what he feels. The clerk has to object in the interest of the law and in the interest of the vision of the Ministry of Local Government. So when the minister looks at the two, then the minister will say, okay, go ahead or hold back, because this is the position of the clerk, or I need an investigation done before I can make a decision. That is the procedure. But Mr. Solomon don't want that to happen. His nature is to go against the protocol. The man went against Granger. He was appointed chairman and he went against Granger. The man went against all the laws and protocol. The man went against everything. That's his nature.
Man, no, listen. I heard in Mr. Solomon's video, he was saying that he saw senior members of the police force there, and there is a town constabulary or something, whatever y'all call it up there. Now, first of all, could you state whether the police were on the scene because of the protest? And is it possible that because this protest spilled into the statutory meeting, the police made their presence in there to probably try and help maintain some order?
Point taken there, Courdel. You have just asked and answered the question. That is exactly what happened. The police have their work to do. The police have their role to play, right? Just as though I am informed because I am sure the police had their intelligence, so they were ready. They were prepared. They were out there with them. The fact that they overpower our constabulary, being primarily women, right? They came on the inside. The police also are residents of this town, and they decided to come on the inside too. Because truth be told, and I'll tell you, outside of the officer in charge acting, There was no other constable on the inside of that building to give protection to any officer or staff of the council should the protesters decide to go rogue.
So
Right?
the
So the police,
one constable as in
no,
second in charge.
yeah, because like I said, these are women. They came out, yes, to do their work. They were overpowered and overwhelmed. I am not sure what was their state of emotion after that interaction at the gate, and I did send you the audio of the interaction. I didn't get any video. I'm hoping that somebody send me a video if someone is listening to this broadcast and they have a video for what transpired at the gate of the council, where the mayor frontally face off with the acting OC and the other constabulary officers and force their way in, demanding that the gate be open, himself and councillors. That was what went down. So those women did not come in on the inside. Courdel, I'm giving you the reality of what's happening. The other thing is that nobody's armed or was armed. So what you think could have resulted in a situation like that?
So wait. The one deputy OC that is there, the few females, they're overpowered. So then there was no searching to see if anybody came in with weapons or anything.
Exactly, none of that, because at the time when you were overpowered, everybody poured in. So there was a major security breach and risk there. How could I sit in that meeting and listening to a politician and, by his own words, an activist, as according to the follow-on of the meeting after I would have exited, he said the activist Sharma has returned. In a meeting with activists, what am I doing in there?
Yeah.
Trying to call for principle, trying to call for the rule of law to be on. You cannot condone something like that. And let me say this. Let me put this disclaimer out. Nobody from the government called me and say, Gasper, walk out. Just in case somebody is listening and is peddling, Gasper is working on instruction, is the government tell you to do what he's doing. Nobody. By no way are they involved in this aspect, because I have got to look. I am placed in a position of trust and responsibility, and I have the responsibility of each and every staff officer there, the officers of the council, right? Meaning those staff there that are there to help assist in answering questions or whatever. I have a responsibility to protect them too, because if somebody whip out a weapon, God forbid. Well, it didn't happen, thanks be to God, and start indiscriminately shooting because they're maybe so pro-party, whether they're PNC or
let's be real. And I will say
straight bullets to kill people too. So why would I leave them in there? So that
the party Mr. Solomon represents is known for violence. Even if you don't want to say it, I'll say it. They're known for violence. You don't know what to expect.
Good. So I took that position that I will have to recruit myself, because I realized there was an escalation in tension. I realized what was going on, and I took the position in the interest of the staff, the administration. That's the position that we took, that we will exit.
Yeah.
We recruit ourselves until they could be ordered.
Yeah. No, I heard Mr. Solomon on the video that I was playing earlier saying that persons were refused entry to do business with the council. Now, I am going to ask you, Gasper, is the statutory meeting the place for persons who want to do business with the council to come to do business with the council? And does the standing orders provide for persons in the gallery making statements to the council? And if so, what is the procedure?
Courdel, I did mention earlier that people decided after they realized the gate was locked and they couldn't come in just like that. They came in under the pretext that they want to do business with the council. They were let in. I'm telling you, I've witnessed that, because at this time we were at recess. I was in the hallway in between my offices, my office and the officers, and there were people who came in. Some of them I know them fully well. I'm telling you because I served in the party before, so I know the party comrades, if you want to call them, or the people within that the PNC and APNO, and I could have identified them. Some of them hail out to me. I asked them, well, you're getting through. What is it you're coming about? And it's like they start orbiting, like I tell you, they orbiting the hallway. They ain't go for do no business.
No,
and then they made their way to the conference room.
Is the statutory meeting the place for, let's say I'm a resident of Linden. Is that the place for me to come to discuss business with the council?
The statutory meeting is not the place. The statutory meeting, while it is all meetings of the public, of the council is open to the public, the statutory meeting has order. And for your matter or business or concerns to be addressed, you would have had to raise that with your councillor who will speak. If the councillor so want to invite you to make a representation because they think that you may best explain your situation, issues, or concern, then they make that notice known to the clerk, and they also can move a motion to suspend the standing order, meaning the rule that states that the elected officials only speaks. They will suspend that and allow for a member of the gallery to speak or to address the house. You must stand, move that motion, it must be seconded, and then voted on. When that is voted on, the person is allotted the time to speak, whether 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. And when they're done, you reinstate the standing order and you deliberate on that matter that was raised. Right? But that was not done. So it's a difference if you come to do business as if you come to raise a concern or issue, right? The business of the council is rates and tax, environmental health, whatever. Those things are services. And if you come, you have to go to those departments to have it done. But if you come into the gallery while we have statutory meeting going on, then you have to sit quietly and listen. And if you so have this concern, you could hint to your constituency candidate. You could whisper to them, go outside, say to them, look, where is your concern? You just went to the environmental and the primary rates and tax and they didn't treat you right or whatever. And then you ask them if they could raise it or invite you to speak because you want to raise it at the level of the council. And they will come back in, they can move that motion, the mayor can entertain that, and so follow that procedure that I would have explained earlier.
I noticed the mayor does a lot of politicking in his conversations when he's sitting in the chair as the mayor of the township.
Exactly. And which is why I struggle to keep him to the agenda, because my role also, and I've listened to a lot of people who would have made their comments and all of that, and some persons consider my actions to be disrespectful and these kind of things, but I also have a role and a part to play. And my role and my part to play there is to ensure that we stick to the agenda, and also that it is the business of the people of Linden is done expeditiously. So we could be sticking to the agenda, but you might want to take a whole hour to talk about one thing. So the most I could do is basically bring it to your attention, Mr. Mayor. The rules state, or the standing order state, that we should only have like 10 minutes on one issue and thereafter move on. We've been on this issue for 10 minutes. He would say things like, this is my meeting, you don't control this meeting. We determine what time and how long we want to speak. Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down. No, Courdel, you and I had square off a DPI office. And you know how I am. I am not claiming perfection. I may have, in some instances, have missteps. I can move from 0 to 1,000 at a flash, right? But I am, as a clerk, as in the capacity, my capacity as town clerk, I have to put on the professional cap. I have to make sure that I am respectful, and I've tried to be very respectful and patient to the mayor. But you've heard, and the people are hearing how disrespectful the mayor can get in his bid to do his campaign, to politicize everything. This is not working well for Linden. And Linden people need to reject this. Linden people need to reject this.
I want to jump across to something else here right now. So in one of the videos I was looking at, I call him the false prophet, Nigel London in Linden. I call him that. Now, in the video, he was asking the council what legal means they can use to get rid of you. And he went on to say, if no one there was willing to get rid of you for not doing the people's business, he's willing to get rid of you. The wording seemed very threatening to me. Now, as a public official, how do you view these kinds of statements being made by these social media influencers and the fact that you have to operate in this town?
What I can say to answer your question directly, those statements are very inciting and agitating in itself and by nature. But I am not intimidated. I don't know what to call him, but Mr. London knows fully well whether you want to call him Yahweh, Yeshua, God Almighty, whatever. All power belongs to him. And it is God who elevates, and it is he who pulls down. While people may be of the opinion that, oh, the PPP installed gospel, all power, even governments, are in the hands of God Almighty. And he exalts and he makes a base. And London knows that all well. How London spoke there is as if it is up to him. He is the Lord and God and Almighty for Linden, because he even went on to say, if when he comes back in there, gospel is still sitting in that seat and in that corner, they got to explain to him why. And he's also taking the position the gospel might even got to move out to Linden. Imagine a born bred resident of this town. He who was put out of America, right? He can't go back to America, put out of America, because he basically left, he abandoned here and went over there, right? And carry on the same nonsensical display and was put out from there, coming to tell me that he's going to put me out. Well, listen something, nothing fears me or intimidates me. I fear God. I fear God and God alone. Man can only destroy the body, but it is God who can destroy the body, soul, and spirit. So Lennox Gospel is not intimidated by Conan Marshall, by Theodore Adams, by Shama Solomon, by Errol London, whether you want to call himself Elohim, whatever. Right? I am not afraid or intimidated. My interest is one, based on principle, and two, people-oriented. I've passionately represented Linden. I've passionately represented Linden on the Avenue banner. This same mouth here was speaking against PPP. This mouth was on the radio speaking and attacking Bishop Edgil. This mouth. And oh yes, it was good. It was glorious. It was right. It was all in order then. I was loved. Now when I would have realized these Van Skidamites for who they are, when I would have realized these creatures, using their word, who is creature, for who they are, and I would have taken a position that I still want to ensure that I work to represent people. No, I am the enemy. I am the enemy.
Gaspar, just give me a second. I actually got some photos here from one of our viewers who will give us a better view of what you are dealing with in terms of these persons. I see people with flag all kind of thing wrapped around them.
Yes.
I want the viewers to actually see some of these photos so that they can understand the situation yesterday and the kind of disorder you were dealing with. Just give me a second.
Go ahead and show them. Go ahead and show them.
And mind you, as I was telling the viewers, I've attended Parliament, I've attended the statutory in Georgetown. If you were late for Parliament, I was telling the folks, you go downstairs by the big TV, you can't stand up in the Parliament door like your head ain't good. So, folks, these are some of the photos of the persons in the gallery yesterday.
Look at how they are by the door. Look at the door. Look at how persons are at the door. Access now in and out becomes a problem. Now remember, I am but 22 feet on the other end of the building. Should anything break out, look at person sitting at the door that is closed off, that brown door. That door, that sign at the top there says out of order. Look at the people on the floor. The man that is contracted to do the live stream. His space is encumbered. He has no room to do his work. The AC would soon be under pressure because of what is happening. And you hear what I said in terms of the number 10. Look at the space between where the person is seated, the council's table, and the person who back in the wall, the very person going more down. It's like 3 rows are there. We normally have 2 rows and an area for persons to pass in front. Right? Nobody could pass in front of this lady with a yellow hat. Right, or the big man sitting there leaning on his cane. Right? Look at what is happening in the area of the door. But I am forced to accept this. And the mayor is peddling this narrative that the clerk don't want you to be in and to hear your business and you to have a say in your issues and matters. But people need to see this guy for who he really is.
Yeah.
He is pointing fingers at me that I am an antagonist or the clerk is an antagonist. But you know, my grandmother used to always say when you point with one finger forward, you got 3 or 4 pointing back at you. Right? So what is the legacy of Mr. Solomon? What is Mr. Solomon known for? Did he make any transformational change within the region? Mr. Solomon's legacy is we call a revolutionary park, where the life of 3 young men from Linden. It is there as a memorial, but they went down at that bridge. And prior to that, myself and another businessman would have called business people together to say, look, we don't have all the information on this plan to shut down the tongue and whatever, and we don't know about the control mechanisms and all of that, and so let's stand up to this thing. And the man came into that meeting, and the man disturbed everything and threatened those people and caused those businesses to backpedal and say, look, you know what, we can just support, because he was prepared to turn the people of Linden against the businesses. That is the nature of Sharma Solomon. Sharma Solomon loves to be looked up to as a demigod. He has nothing else going for him. Look, take away this power from him. I dare him to come with another agenda. Come with another approach. And let's see what will happen. I dare him to. He cannot. Yes, right now, he is out of favor right now with his own party. So he's trying to gain and whoop up support.
Man, look, Gaspar, listen, at the end of the day, I like the fact that you are basing your actions on what is legal and what is
on principle. Moral. Yes,
on principle. You understand? And the fact that we have forces that are able to send us these photos to show that you're not a crazy person, in which statutory operates in this manner. Not even City Hall, with all the chaos they got going on here, operates like this. You understand? I heard Mr. Solomon equating the cameramen and the police standing in the dome to it being regular citizens. It is unheard
yes.
of. Unheard of.
Good. Courdel, you went to Parliament. Who would this be a thing that the cameramen don't be operating the camera? They're allowed to stand and do whatever they have to do?
And in some cases, they got a seat, so they sit down.
Yes, so they sit down there, but they're given a seat to sit. But they're allowed to stand and do whatever fixing they got to do if they need to, or what have you. Oh, man. Right? The securities in Parliament. So,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But Gaspar, I'm glad.
What I need to say is the way forward. I am open. I don't know it all. I don't claim to know it all. Maybe Solomon thinks he does because of the name. But here, a name don't define personality, credibility, individuality. You could get whatever name. We know about the wise King Solomon, the King Solomon. And by no means you're anywhere close to him.
Having a name
but I
don't imbue you with sense. Not because
you know, yeah, apparently. But like I said, I name Solomon, I name Leonard Gospel, but it's not so much about me. It's about the office. I am open, Courdel, to suggestions. Your audience can put it in the thing. The way forward. Linden people, I want to hear this. What is the way forward? The mayor has taken a position where in that meeting they are they want to cut staff salary because these emotive leaders say they shouldn't walk out. How are they going to represent the administration if their administrative authority has exited the meeting? What is their purpose? To sit there and have the mayor back at them?
Yeah.
You tell me. Now they are basically becoming now a target. So it's not just the people of Linden. It's not just the mayor now refusing to sign vouchers, not checks, because he don't sign no check. Because he instructs his councillors not to. So he said before, not me, the mayor only signs on what's the word? In the case of an emergency or whatever, but it's not me, the councillor sign, but he does instruct them, don't sign there and don't sign. Yeah, he said it in the meeting. I hope you don't sign when these things come. Wherever for staff get paid. But again, I would not go to the same.
The last thing I want you to comment on before you go, because this lunacy and asinine request, in my view, from people who have sense. Is it possible for the town clerk to be voted out of the position of town clerk by no confidence motion? Please, because according to what I understand, it makes no sense. Nobody voted for you, so how people voting for you to lose your work? Please explain to the public.
The law is clear. The principle is there. The town clerk is an administrative officer. The mayor and councillors are policy makers. Those policy makers are elected by way of vote to represent the views of the people. The system is so structured that the views of the people, you cannot have them all in one room, which is what the law had shown, because it would be chaos. So the system of whole would have realized, okay, so break these people up in groups and let them select a leader, and from those leaders, let them appoint somebody. The leader elected a chair or a head, and that's how it goes. So government is structured like that too, right? So you have, for the little communities and wards, you have CDCs, then you have councillors representative, and then those councillors representative, the 16 person will elect the mayor. The mayor now will speak on concerns and issues to the minister. The minister represents whatever area and constituency in which he has in parliament, takes care of that. So if the people don't have the confidence in the politicians or their elected officials, they can move and vote them out. They can move to have them removed. In a case of an officer, if that officer, once it can be proven that that officer is willfully and purposely obstructing and distorting abusing his office, or obstructing progress and development, yes, the people can move, but the people will have to take their matter to their official, their elected official, and the elected official will then need to raise the concern with the administration that is above that officer. And the administration then will carry out their investigation and then do the thing. Well, the law provides for things like those no confidence motion by the elected official. And even when that is done, they will then have to do an investigation.
Right.
That is another process by itself. You know. But this is not a situation where I am willfully, maliciously, clandestinely trying or wickedly trying to stymie progress and development in this town. Well, I know I have an understanding of who I'm dealing with. I understand Mr. Solomon. I understand his nature. And no doubt he understands me. And so he plays his game and he knows how to press my buttons. So I make sure that I cross the T's and dot the I's. I make sure that procedures and principles are followed. I'm sitting in a finance meeting and I'm raising financial irregularities to these councillors who have no business or concern into considering what I'm raising. Just that, okay, you go ahead and talk. When you're done, we're going to vote that you got to make those payments. You got to make the payment. Pay the people. Despite you raising, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair, this is a duplication. This you are making a request for this money, but the invoice of that money. So how is that? I am showing you these things, and you're telling me, okay, councillors, we've heard the clerk. All in favor of the clerk, paying all those people, pay them. You have to pay them, or the council is going to be sued because he's going to stir up that the council be sued. Now they're talking about prorating. The man that raised the concern in the meeting, Mr. Adams, talking about prorating the payment of staff because the word came to or went to his son in a missive. Because I told him that 1.5 is Theodore Adams' son. Theodore Adams have an interest in this call for the removal of the clerk because his son coordinated the tongue week. Under he was selected by the councillors, but I facilitated the process and signed the contract because they signed the clerk and doing nothing. But I followed the procedure.
Wait. The coordinator for the tongue week is Darren Adams' son?
Yeah, not Darren Adams, Theodore Adams. He was in the crowd of people there. He's part of the organizing for of the protest. They are all together as part of the highlighters, they call themselves. And so he has an interest in this issue. And I sent his son a letter stating, sir, come in for us to talk because we have to prorate this 1.5. We have to reassess what you think, because we would have entered into an agreement 1.5 on the understanding that you bring in $18 million. The total was given as 1.4. There is a shortfall of in excess of $7 million. Why then am I obligated to pay you your full 1.5? I have to pay you, as they would say in the contractual term, for measured works.
But Gaspar, if you me and you are into agreement that you giving me this can of energy drink for $500, when I received the can little over halfway full, how am I paying you the same $500? I ain't get why
exactly.
What I requested.
So now he brings that into the argument. I would have glad if he leave it out because it's somebody that I know. But why you want to bring that into a discussion now at the level of the council that the mayor must prorate staff payment so they don't be paid for the day? You have nothing to do with that. You will not go anywhere with it. Why are the staff becoming the pawn? Why? To what end? Whose benefit? You know, listen to how they abuse the staff in that voice note. I hope you played it for the audience to hear.
The other phone, I don't know where I was calling it, but
Play the voice note, let the people hear how the councillors abusing the staff. Y'all got gospel, y'all got gospel controlling y'all, and this and that, y'all, you feel y'all get paid. So this now becomes an animosity against the staff of the council. My call is to the Linden people. Where do we
talk for 3 minutes and let me find this phone? I can't
find that audio. When do we draw the line? Where do we say enough is enough? And I'm not even saying the enough is enough with a view to attack the Shama or to attack gospel. But when do we draw the line for the middle ground? Put aside your political views. When do we draw the line for the middle ground? Yes, persons may have their own hidden agenda in this, but where do we go from here? Linden is suffering, no doubt. The staff now is being targeted, no doubt. The staff of the municipality, who we have contractually agreed that once they provide their time, they levy in time for money. We would have committed to that. Why now do we need to drag them in the mud? I hearing it because I've seen it happen. Because the mayor didn't get, the council didn't get 1.5 that they requested for tongue week. They stopped signing staff requests for loan. Staff who getting way below the minimum wage. You see, way below the minimum wage staff get it. And because they didn't get the 1.5 that they requested for tongue week, they stopped signing any request for loans for those staff. And now that they have they're dealing with why the staff walk out, they're moving now in the direction, or they're saying it, that's what they're announcing, in the direction for prorating staff payment or not signing vouchers so that the payment could go forward. This is showing that it's not getting better, and it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. My question is, how do we deal with it moving forward? I am open to suggestion. I am open to dialogue. Go ahead.
Another voice note here. You would be able to better articulate who are the voices that we're going to be hearing. So if you want to jump in and see anything, just let me know, and I'll pause it to give you a chance.
No, play the whole thing.
I don't have nobody there. The people call the mayor's gallery there, and the gallery is full.
That's the mayor asking who is you.
The gallery is full. People place. You have to go chair fetching this man for them. Fetching more chair for them. That is a people place. They don't know individual place. Yeah, the gospel gallery are fighting. We shall stand. This people place. That's where we're going to be.
So imagine the security saying the gallery full, and it's torn into gospel got you frightened.
Yes. So you're hearing the mayor talking there. The first voice you heard was the mayor. The mayor frontally confront the officer, the mayor. But when I went out at the market to talk to the gentleman that, okay, it was a council that would have established that person's dumping area as a central area so that the council could access with a tractor and bobcat. You can't just up and move it. That's illegal. I was wrong for doing that. Fine. This is the mayor going now to endorse an illegal action. People storming the gate of the council. You understand? Who's you? The mayor start the conversation off. Then you heard Councillor Ahmed. That's the guy you are frightened. You hear Councillor Parks. These are councillors confronting, and in between you're hearing the social media activists too are talking.
Let's listen again.
Go ahead.
98% of you employees are women. And you are being disrespectful every day. You can imagine a radio and I never can know the sort about it. And I understand because who tell that up. As the chair never gonna report up to me. And you want to represent you. That's why. The wickedness of people.
So you can pause there. You can pause there, Cordell. So that is Councillor Hamid, and he is chairman of the security committee. But you hear how the emotive behavior and the venom and animosity that is coming out in what he's saying, right? It's like, okay, y'all ain't working with me, y'all ain't following with me, y'all fighting gospel, y'all get gospel thing, y'all gonna know, y'all gonna see what we gonna do. It's like a threat to staff. This is how ugly this situation is getting. This is how bad. And at this point, I am saying it may need external intervention. It may need urgent intervention. And I am calling here at the level of this program for the intervention of the authorities through the ministry. The involvement of the local government ministry at this point to call, and I will again write the minister. I've done it before, and I will again write the minister inviting or for an audience so that everybody could come and sit at the table and let's get this right. Let's get it right. I did say on another program, the mayor and I, we're supposed to brief every day. But this thing has gotten so contentious and so personal that Mr. Solomon will not sit in a room to speak with me because his heart is not clean. Nonetheless, I can put aside that and sit and listen. His heart is not clean, trust me. But and by no means I'm not a person that could see or know the heart. Only God knows the heart. But your actions can, for me, display what is in your heart. Your words and your action can say what is in your heart. I've been calling, yes. I've been the little boy reaching out to people saying, reach to the mayor. Let us come and sit. Let us talk. Let's put Linden forth. No, the mayor wants this showdown. You know why he wants this showdown? He's not even sure of his political standing with the party. So he's trying to gain some ground, right? Yes, he wants to be on that front. So no, I'm not willing to compromise. And so the man said it in a meeting at a statutory meeting. You don't need to speak with me in no office and brief with me. Here is where we need to talk. Come to this meeting. And I smile. I rock back. You know why? But it still hurts inside. You know why it hurts? Every time we wait till we meet for another statutory meeting is 1 month we take in to discuss your issue. I'm just putting it your issue, Cordell. So if you raise an issue with your councillor, I could have gone and the mayor briefed me, say, oh, Councillor Fredericks say some resident Cordell said that some break away in the road in his area. Clerk, could you deal with it, look at it and send the road patching team? No. When I do that, I after coming out of the briefing, I tell him what admin is doing and and we deal with that. When we go into meeting, we don't have time to deal with dog. I could just give you an update. Oh, Mr. Mayor, the stuff that we talk about that resident Cordell spoke to you about is addressed. So we don't need to think. We go ahead. But the meeting starts going along with it too, because all these small, irrelevant issues that could have been dealt with along the way too, is held up. And so 1 month after, we got to go to deal with it again. So because of my concern for the people of Linden, that is what hurts, and that's what sometimes will cause me to behave how I behave. Because if you allow me, I might want... I'm not a violent person, but sometimes some people behave some way, we want some of them over the head, but people like that, catch little sense. No, catch little sense, let me just move forward. You don't have to like me, but you can, let's work together. Professionally, for the good of the people. Even sometimes within the staff, I've said to staff, look, I could deal with the council and councillors, but you here on this team, I am asking for you to let's try to work together with each other. You don't have to like each other, but we have to work together. We share what is 8 hours a day with each other. Let's try at least to be professional. We got a
Yeah.
mayor secretary that's gone. I don't know. I don't even want to put a description. If you hear this girl to be loud and aggressive and shouting and hollering down in the area, this girl, as a matter of fact, according to her own words, she is not an admin staff. She's not an admin staff,
No,
but I
but she
have to
is.
sign her payment. No, no, she's not, according to her. But I have to
No, but
sign her payment. And she's speaking in meetings where the clerk, I am supposed to give her permission to speak, Even though
right.
she's working with the mayor is
Yeah, but
supposed
she's
to
an
ask
admin
me
staff
so that he
before
asks
you.
his clerk. But that don't happen. So she is speaking when I'm talking to the mayor. She is jumping in and shouting. So when I put her to a place, she have a problem. The mayor have a problem, not she. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, the day
Right?
suspension and she by without pay. Should have learned. But
I will
anyway,
deal. I will. No, I deal with it with caution. It requires a suspension. You're right, but I will write
right.
the commission on it. I
But
will
anyway,
write the commission on it because I've written them before regarding our actions, and it has continued. And I've written the law regarding our action, and it continued. The girl walk around in the council in a meeting with a bra. She was supposed to be wearing a blazer. And the girl walk around with the bra showing, come into a meeting with the deputy mayor, Dominic Blair, was cheering. Walk in and walk back out, and the man said, "You see."
gospel, let me get
But
some more of
gospel is
this.
the problem.
Let me get some more of this vice note here, man.
I know reporting from I don't know nothing. And the people telling me everything. I am suffering. One woman alone on the market out there. Then as I drive it, the man on 2 men running the shit. When I turn back, the men left it away. I am accepting it. Because of what money.
It's what's fine funny? These guys, 2 man running behind the lady in the market. As soon as he tore back, they disappeared. This always got a story, but never nothing to back it up. He ain't got a photo, nothing. No. These people just freak me out. These people is trouble. And this is a council calling on the admin staff to rebel against the
Yes.
admin officer.
Yes.
Wow.
Because rebellion is all they know. That is all they can offer. They haven't done a single policy. Yes, they've made some here and there decisions, but they consider that as policy. Right? Now we can agree to do something. The policy will dictate the know-how, the laws, all the other things. But they consider it a policy. But they haven't really brought any policy to the council when you really consider the substance of a policy. They don't even do a proper budget. They didn't even do a proper budget for the tongue week. You understand? Because the mayor in the finance meeting said that a budget is a policy document. Right, fine, you're so right. You didn't have a policy for the tongue week. How you will gather the money, how you will spend it, what you will do with the rest, the balance after expense, nothing.
Right.
So what you're telling me, and all this comes down to is people understanding their role and function. They want to do administrative work. You hear the council, that's Councillor Hamid, you're hearing all the time. There's a councillor who's a taxi driver and a coach. All right, what does that have to do, or what relevance that has to do with his service? He's a citizen, he has to serve. What you need, what you need to do is understanding your roots or where you came from. Inform yourself with the roles and procedures and responsibilities that is now bestowed on you as a councillor. You are in, when I'm out there, I remember when I was appointed and I'm out there pulling people in line on the road, encumbering the pave. He is behind me and he is
Right.
telling people, you don't have to listen to him, we don't recognize him, come back on the road. Encouraging illegality. Let's say, Courdel, by the stretch of somebody's imagination or luck, they gain the advantage, and you get rid of the tongue cloth. Let's just, peradventure, assume that you get through. There's
Right.
another tongue clock that has to be replaced, and that tongue clock has to operate on principle. Then you will want now, oh, we got to put things in place. So all these people were encumbering, they got to move. How are you going back to tell the people that now? Because somebody else now can take your place and say,
Right.
no, you did tell we got to listen to gospel, so why we got to listen to this other force? We stay right here. Say we selling all we life. Is this and you're taking bread out the poor people's mouth. That's what we're gonna. Why we can't stand on the principle of law and order, rules and regulations? Why?
Right. Yeah.
Do you know that in Canada, when the garbage truck go around, if they know your household produce 2 bags of garbage and they roll up and see 3, they pick up the 2 and they tag the other 3. And you have to pay to have that removed. You pay the same municipality, but we have no respect for the workers that we have, and we don't have councillors that will draft policies like these for us. But they run. This is what you got to do. They said it on one of the lives. This is what y'all are garbage collectors. And that's what you got to do. You can live and die a garbage collector. You got to pick up the garbage. And I'm telling the resident, bring your garbage and put it in. And they got to pick it up. They got to. Now, why we can disrespect people like that? I got my shot and tie. But let me tell you this, Courdel. I used to clean the National Library in Linden. I wiped the floor in the National Library in Linden. There is no shame about that. And I did my work with pride and with passion. Me, Lennox Gasco. And I don't look down on nobody because, listen, let me tell you the reality of looking down on those men. How important they are if they decide, oh, y'all ain't respecting we can die, live and die as garbage collectors. We ain't collecting nothing. Trust me, all the way we shot and tie with wallowing we miss. We have got to respect people all the way. And we are not doing that, giving them that respect. And when we make decisions, we don't make decisions considering them. We sit down, we make decisions, they got to come 2 times a day, they got to come and pick up the garbage. They got to come and pick it up. This is how we deal with it. Right? You don't care about them. You business how they survive and how they exist. Oh, man. God help us. But like I said, I'm calling for intervention. I'm calling for urgent intervention by the authorities or from stakeholders and interested organizations within Linden. The religious organization, they're all silent. The business community, they're all silent. And Sharma is parading to call out another industrial action. Well, it's not even industrial, but what? Community resistance. Then we call it. What did we get from 2012? How much did we lose from 2012? You think Sharma think people forget the fact that monies were collected to rebuild the 1 mile school? Where are those monies? They benefited more from the resistance and the people because people had to be eating on the streets, on the road. At those corner areas we cook that thing. How much they stand off between the people and government to what end?
Gasper, before you
so I'm calling on these people to get involved and let us resolve this matter. I'm calling on the ministry, get involved and let's resolve. We need to have this discussion now more than ever and get this right.
Gasper, before I go, I just received a voice note from one of our viewers, and this has confirmed something that you've said to me. You said on this program in relation to the Linden Town Week. And I just want the viewing public, the listening public here to have a listen to. And this is from Linden right? So guys, have a quick listen here.
When we remember you had the Wisman night with the camouflage, you know that the council ticket is a green ticket. And Sharma them they going wrong with a yellow ticket, collecting money. Gospel know that the over the river, the camouflage night, the Wisman night, the Sharma them get all of the money in the pocket. Buy some secret letter tonight. Attacking about from people in the council, you don't worry. People in the council, where the council vehicle drive away, all left them. My asking them, yo, who got in on here, sir? Let's follow their challenge. By instead of use the green ticket, they use a yellow one with a book and giving the people tickets, so the people start clapping down on them. All them things we know. But the buy let the old cat in the bag, the buy say, let me tell you something. I say AP and you, but let me show you something. This is what go down. Sharma them, Vanessa, Zico, all of them played a game. Bye. We got a group chat and let spit some fire and let y'all know what's going on. We need to let these jackass people alone, my God. You see, we asking for Pete Gasper, and I gotta apologize to Gasper. I gotta say I don't feel no ways about it because, yeah, oh boy.
Like you got apology coming your way there, boy.
Cuddle over a month ago I heard that audio. And you know my grandmother used to use the term and you see I grew up with almost like 14 years with my grandmother. Those are crucial years. So I remember a lot of those quotes. And most of the senior people who listening to this program got know was a Dutch axe. You got the axe. We got the one side where you could chop with, and then you got a hammer on the next side. But I got the axe we got cutting on both sides. That's a Dutch axe. That is the voice of Conan Marshall, the highlighter, who would have stated that. I would have moved into doing some investigation, and some of what was mentioned indeed is it was noted. But I've never gotten the chance to rightly raise all these concerns, which is why I wrote to the Auditor General asking for an audit of the tongue week, because with all these things being raised, those will need to be examined, right? Those things will need to be examined because people are playing games, and I wouldn't even put aside some people internally might be playing games. But now all the information will then be given to the auditors, and there we will know. Right? I've already written that letter and sent it off, and I will follow up on it shortly after this program. Right? But persons called me and told me, man, the man got an apology. I said, no, the man don't have no apology to give me. If he wants to give me an apology, let him go on the program. And let him do it on the live. Because it's the same man, the mayor spitting him out. It's the same man, the mayor working with to get this protest organized. It's the same man that had organized for the meeting. That's why they asked for the 1.5 hour, because coordinated for the gospel. Get gospel out. He's the one who called for gospel to be voted out. Yeah, gospel must be voted out. I mean, come on. No. My own, while I understand his passion, seriously, I did have a off the record conversation with him a day when we went to see the bodies that were brought with that vehicle, that minibus with the 3 persons died on the road from Letten to Linden with a trap in the mud. Yeah. When they brought the bodies and they took them at the morgue, he came over to me, and I know he wanted comment, and I said, no, I'm not entertaining you mileage. I'm not going to do it. So he said he's not recording. And he asked, I said, look, one thing I want to tell you is this. If you are going to be a social media activist and you want people to take you serious, one thing you need to do, just don't take a side. If you're dealing with a matter, listen gospel side and listen the other person's side and let the people make their judgment. You don't take a side. you be objective. I said, but once you insert yourself into the thing, then you shouldn't pay no interest in coming to me because you inserted yourself in your video with the mayor and said you calling out the people to protest Casco.
Right.
Right? That's according to him. So now why you want to talk to me? Do what you say you're going to do. Don't come to me. Now you hear something else. It tells me that you are not a person who stand on firm or solid ground. You're Dutch axe. You sinking sand. People can't hold forth with you. You and Broccoli and left them from the time you find the next person that will give you the hottest topic. If you're going to align yourself on principle. So I don't have time with that. I've heard that a month ago, and I didn't give it no credence or no mileage. I left it. I left it. Yeah, that's Dutch.
This voice note just come to me. This thing circulating a month and you get the apology yet?
No. A month. That's a Dutch axe, man. That's a Dutch axe.
What?
Snake tongue. You ever heard about snake tongue? You know snake tongue split? I know the purpose for the split is the senses. There's got to take from all ends, right? Senses. They got sense. Yes. Fart tongue. Some guys got fart tongue, man.
Thank you for being on the program. Thank you for clarifying what happened at the statutory. Thank you for sharing with us the foolishness that the mayor tries to push on you and the misleading narratives that he pushes out there. At least you took some time to debunk that, and I'm glad. Keep up the good fight. I'm glad that you're taking your I don't want to call it a problem, your issue to a higher level to have it resolved. And
yes, I will write the ministry and ask, continue to ask for them to intervene. Yeah,
on your part, and the willingness as well to work with such a council. Again, I'm
still open to working with them.
I don't know how open I would have been given all of the shenanigans that has been going on. I don't think I'm at that level of maturity as yet. I'm working on it, but you understand. But keep the good fight. I'll give you 2 minutes there to give your closing statements. We go way over time this morning. I got to make up. The people them vex I beat out the country. So I says best I let you talk and help me make back up this time I owe people. Give your closing statements.
I just want to say thanks again for having me on the program. When I get hot and steamy about certain things, it's not because of, as is perceived, arrogance. I am concerned, and sometimes when you don't expect certain things from some people and they do it, it upsets you. And yes, I do get upset. My disgust don't last for long. Right? You and I had the own thing, and you see, we put our past and we move on. That's how I am. And I need people to understand the nature of Lennox Gaspar. But outside of that, the office of the clerk, there are some things I have to hold to because I have an obligation by law, rules and regulations and procedures that I cannot flaunt. And so I will have to hold strong. So I'm asking for the community, not in the way that they got involved being misinformed and misled, but for us to work together to resolve this issue in the interest of Linden. And I want people to listen to everything objectively. Even as you listen to Courdel's program, you can listen to the other program and you be objective in your conclusion. And let's see how we could find a middle ground.
Right.
You understand? Because we have advanced in time and in society so much that even what we knew as cat and dog in living together. Well, I tell you, I've seen cat and dog now living in the same house, eating out of the same bowl. If they're animals and they could adjust to the times, what happened to us?
Indeed.
Why we gotta keep living like island water? Why we gotta allow these meaningless things to separate us? In closing, as I said before, all power belongs to God. I hold no power. Gospel holds no power. And if any power is what God gives, and it is he who exalts and he who will pull down. All governments and kings and lords and everybody is in his hand. You understand? And even in this situation, I am saying wherever it goes, Linden must win. And as the saying goes, spoil milk, just give you yogurt, and yogurt is more expensive than milk. And yogurt could give you cheese, and cheese is more expensive than yogurt. Grapefruit juice is good, and when it's spoiled, it turns wine, and the wine more expensive than the grapefruit juice. Whatever is happening in this local, only asking that the outcome must be for Linden to win. Let's working with you and for us to have brief, sir, and discussion on the way forward. Cordell, thank you, and thanks to your listeners. I know we've way overspent our time. Thank you very much for having me on this program. And I will do my best to continue to adjust my own style of doing things in the interest of the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, Lennox Gaspar. Guys, Town Clerk for the Linden Municipality, Mr. Lennox Gaspar, sharing with us this morning. Gaspar, have a wonderful rest of the day. So, you hear it from Gaspar himself, right? Despite all the foolishness that the Town Clerk tried to the mayor tried to peddle in relation to what transpired yesterday, you heard it directly from the Town Clerk, and I'm glad that he is one of those vocal persons who is able to articulate well situations for persons to understand. The mayor has no interest in the betterment of the people of Linden. The mayor has interest in scoring cheap political points. And it's not based on Gaspar's education, his ability to function, or his knowledge of 2801. It's based on a vendetta, and in some cases jealousy, to know that this guy was a part of our camp. We do stupidness, the man left and he's elevating himself somewhere else. They will fight you down. They have constantly tried to disrespect the office of the Town Clerk and the municipality in general. Look just the other day what they did to the NCN manager, not just a reporter, a cameraman. The manager of NCN Linden was harassed by councillors in the town council building. They are protesting in the building. That is illegal. You can't do that. You need to go on the road. You need to get your permission from the police and protest on the road. So now, after harassing Miss Ned, causing her all sorts of trauma, because really and truly, you don't know what is going to happen when you encounter an APN, UPNC, AFC protester. You don't know. You don't know how it could escalate, where it will end. Whether you'll be alive or maimed for life after the fact. So I can understand the Town Clerk's position. Seeing this group of people who are protesting outside, storm the building, go into the statutory chambers where the statutory meeting is being held, sit down on the floor, wrap up flag all around them, who is doing the hair and all kind of madness in the place. Of course, he's going to take himself out of there. He got sense. Self-preservation, any human would remove themselves from there. More so, the persons under his charge. So why would he leave his staff in such a situation of uncertainty? Even if something happened and they want to run out of there, the exit block, all the protesters in the place. And this idiot, the false prophet, don't see an issue with that. I hope Gaspar reports his statements to the police. Whilst he's asking for the council to take legal grounds, later in the statement, it seems like he is willing to remove gospel by any means necessary. And what are those means he's willing to go to? Because he seems to be a very radical individual. Although being a false prophet, he seems to be very radical. So you have to look at these things. And according to gospel, there have been allegations of him saying or alluding to having gospel not live in Linden. The gospel's a bloody Linden now. Who are you, false prophet, London, to decide that gospel can't live in Linden? On what grounds? Because they're not supporting the foolishness you're supporting? You had a chance, false prophet, to make it to the council. You couldn't make it. Nobody voted for you. Nobody hired you as town clerk. You're not an officer of the council. You're not admin staff. You're not nobody's secretary. But you in the thick of everything. I really would like to see this man church and the attendance. Honest to God. I would love it. When he has his church, the cameras usually just focused on him. But I would love to see the people who are following him, and if it's more than 5. Because that's the amount of votes he get in the last LG, around 5 votes. But nevertheless, like I said before, gospel might be short, but his story long. So he able with you, Mr. Mayor. He able with you. And if you feel you're gonna make gospel uncomfortable, man, look, I wish you well, sir, with your endeavors. I wish you well. I wish you well. What I suggest to you is to stop the foolishness, Sharma Solomon, and work along with the town clerk to bring about some kind of change in Linden under your tenure as mayor, chair of the council. Could you imagine a mayor sitting at a statutory meeting saying the people who have come to do business with the council are being blocked? They're being blocked? The statutory meeting is not the place for that. Why you councillors not meeting with these people in the communities? Why y'all ain't doing community visits and finding out what's the issues in the community so that the councillors can come and make representation? How can the citizens or the residents of Linden decide they're coming to a statutory meeting to represent their issues? What's the purpose of the councillors? And that goes to show you, let us see, that is genuinely why those people were there, to make representation, for issues in their communities. It shows that their elected officials aren't working in the communities. If you, as a citizen or a resident of Linden or wherever constituency, got to come to the statutory to see the person you vote to represent the constituency, then you need to vote different next LG. Because clearly it ain't working out for you. Clearly it's not working out for you. Anyway, let me let y'all get along with the rest of your day. Folks, thank you for staying on the program. Thank you for being here today. As I said before, at 2 p.m. today, there will be the press conference from the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Dr. Barry Jagdeo, and we'll be streaming it live. We'll be restarting our streaming here on Livewire TV and Livewire News. Guys, please share the content on Livewire TV, Livewire News as well. Please like and subscribe to the page. Invite persons to subscribe and like our YouTube channel. Follow our page on Facebook, Livewire News, Livewire TV. It helps us a great deal, right? So invite your friends. Go to the Livewire page, click on the 3 buttons, click on invite friends, click on invite all, send, please. It helps us a lot, right? So look out for the press conference today from the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Dr. Barry Jagdeo. As I told y'all, today is the day. Building Expo, the International Building Expo is going to be kicking off today at the National Stadium there in Providence. We will be there streaming the opening ceremony, and as well, we will be doing a 1 hour broadcast of the booths each night from tonight, right? So most likely it will be a 2 hour broadcast, and well, I don't know how long the opening ceremony gonna run. So I want to say it's a 2 hour, and the next thing the opening ceremony is 3 hours. But we'll have the opening ceremony, and then we'll also do a partial walkabout tonight, talking to exhibitors and persons who are attending the 2024 International Building Expo. Hats off to Minister Kroll and Minister Rodriguez and the team there at Central Housing and Planning for pulling together the event in a timely manner as normal. The place is packed. The heavy duty section looks really great. So if you can, please come out and support. And if you can't, tune into Livewire TV, Livewire News, and you will be able to fall in on those streams. Again, don't forget, 2 o'clock today, the press conference by the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic. On that note, I am heading out to here. Y'all have a wonderful day. And as I usually say, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
Struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break.